both these two picks. Aatrox already picked up, so KT can definitely still go for that Yone routes. Evelyn locked away as well. So, yeah, options. Not really a lot here in terms of jungling wise. I would expect Yone get picked up again here one more time unless it gets banned out by Weibo Gaming. But Weibo this time secured the Galio. So this is a drawback, right? If you give away the Galio against a Camille first pick, it's almost certainly going to come up.
Yeah, and it kind of is a bit of an opportunity. I'll just say it as an opportunity by Weibo Gaming, since KT.RY did not ban this away, since they focused on the Evelyn, the Zoe, and the Akali. Great respect against the Pace performance a while ago. Now one champion actually got opened up, and it's the Galio. Fortunately, Shen is no longer going to be available, and Weibo Gaming bans it out since they already have the Aatrox. But KT.RY responding on the ADC. Interestingly so, still the Zeri open here for Duanyu. Pretty much neglects everything that has been banned away. That's actually odd from KT.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think necessarily Zeri is ban worthy here, because it wasn't necessarily a problem for KT roster in that laning phase. In fact, they had a pretty decent duo laning phase on that bottom side, so the bans definitely are something unconventional here for the side of KT roster. But nevertheless, they are cooking up a pretty decent comp on their side here. Vi is for that lockup potential, and of course the Ziggs as well getting locked up here for a little bit of poke and a ton more damage. And I think this is all in all a more well-rounded comp than what they had here on that last game, because apart from the fact that they have more damage, they have more mix of damage, and they have that lockdown potential, which is something that they didn't have that last game.
I mean, getting a Jace in the mid lane, I think, can be key for Weibo Gaming to land many pressure, especially in terms of poke. I think because the laser of the Zeri is already quite troublesome for KT.RY, and add in a shock blast from the Jace, that's gonna be many loads of trouble here for KT.RY, especially in positioning. Weibo Gaming has great engage as well, since they still have the Camille. One of the problems that KT.RY actually had is the lack of engage. Yes, the Jackson actually engaged in game 1, but they really struggled with the follow-ups as well. But for Weibo Gaming, that hasn't been a problem, and now it's going to be more solidified with this Galio.
Oh yeah,
and the peel is going to be amazing for their side.
The one good thing that KT roster have going for themselves is they sort of have a sort of soft counter pick, right? When they have the Gragas up against the Camille. Camille engages, you can just throw the explosive cast here of the Gragas, and you essentially nullify the Hextech ultimatum that Zihan has there, and you essentially deny the whole wombo combo idea that they have with the Hero's Entrance. So it is certainly nice to have, and on top of that, they do have pretty good engage tools this time. They have the Vi, they have the Gragas, which are both really good engages, and I would argue even an easier of an engagement, especially with the Vi here compared to the Camille Galio combo. So as far as comps go, I really like this roster-wide composition more than the last game. But as we discussed, GG, a lot of it is gonna boil down to the same thing that it boiled down to last game, which was execution.
Yeah, execution, of course, and better positioning is gonna be very important. KT.RY has to keep track of Weibo Gaming's movements all the time, because they have great positioning during game number 1, and also they need to be more aggressive, I think, here in game number 2. They have the Vi, they have the tools actually to set things up in the early game. I think it's very necessary for them to at least set the tempo up against Weibo, because Camille, Aatrox, Zeri, again, 3 scaling champions for Weibo Gaming, similar to game number 1, is going to be very scary to deal come minute 15, come minute 12, possibly even at minute 18. It's just going to be very difficult for KT.
Yeah, absolutely. So now it is going to be the laning phase here on both sides. Game number 2, remember, match or series point already secured for Weibo. So roster, if they want to extend this game into a 3rd game affair, they should secure this one in the bag. So they're playing against the wall here. This time it is the red side for Weibo Gaming, and Aatrox, of course, as we established in that last game, really fast clear speed. Actually, I'm not sure who has the faster wave clear speed here. Is it Vi or an Aatrox? Might be the same here. But curiously enough, Ignite popped by Zihan on that top lane against Rattel. So
like
yeah,
Thunder.
nothing too aggressive on either side yet.
Just Zihan telling Rattel to burn. But KT.RY actually having better economy, at least in the first interaction. We see Rattel shoving a wave towards the turret, denying some pressure from Zihan as well. Great rotation coming in from Do as well, just paving a way for Rattel to just keep bashing the turret as Zihan struggles to secure those last hits on the minion. And just generally a great macro and micro play here for KT.RY. Counter-Strike connects to Zihan just to equalize the HP on both sides. But again, we have to respect Zihan still on the tactical sweep, sustained just like this. Might be in a lot of trouble, but Rattel, since he has a wave, will be fine.
Yeah, Fan looming around the area just for a little bit of insurance for Zihan there. Rattel picks up some healing from the honey fruit. And Fan actually looks for the engagement. Rattel doesn't know here, GG.
Yeah, Rafan is just being very patient this time around. Hexic Ultimatum is available, but so does the Anti-Smite duo of Rattel. So they will be able to dissuade Fan in his gank since Zero is gonna be here. The cast again is very amazing because, like we discussed earlier, right? Hexic Ultimatum can be denied, isolation can be made by KT here in this game, and I just am looking forward to them being able to execute it properly, especially better than game number 1 on the Galio for Zero. I think that's something that he really needs to polish the next time he uses it.
Wow, both flash and healed invested by Acrobat there on that bot side. So really good engagement from Duan Yu, who, remember, at the start of this series was the sort of hype man here.
Yeah.
Weibo, right? And looking to continue on that dominance. You did mention Zeri, one of his most comfortable picks here. So still feeling very confident off of that engagement. And I want to talk about this mid lane matchup a little bit, right? Xayah against Jace. I mean, of course, before we get to that scaling part in that laning phase, Xayah is on at least first 2 or 3 levels gonna have a field day against this Jace. But once that first few items, once the first item has been picked up, Xayah is going to struggle a little bit, which explains this lane swap here. Once Jace gets a little bit of damage going, it's very hard to imagine just how Xayah can survive an engaging Jace. So it makes a ton of sense from a micro point of view. But it is 5 minutes into the game, and we're looking to set up another long one for this one, GG. And makes sense, because if you think about it, both teams essentially have a scaling comp. KT.RY have a ton of scaling in their arsenal as well, right?
Jax,
Xayah. I'll take a little bit of time to ramp up. And both of these squads definitely gearing towards that team fighting anyway. I mean, you can argue that a Vi is built for pick potential, but so far KT.RY are not really looking for anything yet.
Maybe through the objective spawning up, KT.RY can actually look for movements. They are settling now in the mid lane. So far, Daw hasn't been spotted just yet. Check out engages here onto Zero, just chumping his HP down. They focus on RH, actually. Pretty interesting, because Weibo Gaming will not be any concerned against this trade-off. Fan is going to be more than happy to secure this dragon for the team. They go, engage. Flash is going to be used. Cast as well, though. Not hitting on any member here of Weibo Gaming. To different objective as planned, but Weibo Gaming has a chance this time in game number 2 to have the soul. Well, and they're gonna use just a heal being procced there by Akaba to remain alive, as well as his ally Zero becoming overextended a while ago. But KT, they can bash.
First game, this time they're able to put a little bit of pressure on that Drake, and on top of getting the Herald as well. So all in all, really good signs here for the second game, at least. KT.RY as Duan Yu activates the ults against 2. He knows that there's no way that these 2 players can engage on him, because he does have so much mobility, especially with Jekian around the corner.
Yeah, and Zero doesn't have the CAC, so
true.
He's more than safe. Hero's Entrance is also available for Jekian, so again, the protection, the peel is just much better this time around in game number 2 for Weibo Gaming. Daw's gonna be in the vicinity, just stalking behind, just getting his camp as well as Rattel struggles to clear out the wave. He took so much bullets from from Duan Yu, and it's a little bit concerning as it gets poked even more. But low mana rather on Duan Yu can be a little concerning for the Weibo Gaming. Maybe after this wave, he will be backing off to the base.
Perhaps. I don't think he feels compelled to as of the moment, as he gets jumped on by Rattel, but that's okay.
Exhaust, and Rattel should be taken down! The flash outplay by Duan Yu says the gang isn't needed, but Fan still says thank you for the kill. Just one hit.
Referred.
Gonna be spawned in the mid lane. At least maybe secure this tower, but the explosive charge, at least the cycle charge, hasn't been used just yet. Shelly would just pick it up. No, he doesn't. 19 HP,
19.
But they do have the Zig, so it's gonna be very, very easy for them to secure the tower. But Acrobat just needs to be extra careful because Faye is here. It's stopping. Shock Blast connects, and that hurts so much.
Yeah, Acrobat down to 200, guys. Be extra careful around Faye here. They do have the safety net of their Gragas. KT Roaster looking to find another turret here. And remember, this is looking a lot like how Weibo started game number 1, right? They got the first 2 turrets. This time it's KT Roaster that looks like they will take the first 2 towers of the game. Weibo find one of their own. And Duan Yi actually doing a pretty good job here of 1v1ing against the Jax. Speaking of 1v1, Duo gets jumped on.
Oh, great Hextech ultimatum. Dodge just gonna get taken down here, being chased out. Flash away and still safe for KT.RY. After everything gets thrown out, he still manages to stay alive. That is just amazing for KT.RY. Now still a bit of a struggle here for Acrobat, at least on the tower securement here in the mid lane. 19 HP is just so tempting to force out, but since everyone for Weibo Gaming is there, they just can't do it without any cost.
And this is the thing about Weibo, right? When you're playing against them, they won't really give you any space no matter how little they have. I mean, make it sound super dramatic, but 19 HP, that must be so frustrating to see on your screen there. KT Roaster definitely are itching to get that tower destroyed. But now they're going to jump towards that bottom side. It seems like they're targeting Zihan here. Zihan.
I actually thought that they would be at least throwing the Sato charge there. Zihan gonna be using tactical frequency on himself, back up Hextech ultimatum. Not gonna be used actually. He just falls down despite the hero's entrance there by Jikian. Unfortunate for Weibo Gaming, but still, we'll always mention mid lane every single time we see it not being taken out. KT.RY still unsuccessful with it.
And apart from the fact that it is just 1 HP, it is a big, always a big thing when you take out the first mid turret, right? It's a big hint of map control going towards their side, and yeah, exactly. I was about to point that out as well, that that's the second turret that they're able to take down, while this turret in mid is still 1 HP, so KT Roaster have to again start making these better decisions. Are they going to look for a fight? I mean, they found one engagement towards that bottom side, but they haven't been able to find a translation after that, right? Typically, after you find a kill, you look for something else on the map, but not true so for KT Roaster. They haven't found a second translation after that kill.
And it's more of Weibo Gaming just constantly applying pressure here against KT.RY. Now the Dragon's gonna be started here. Weibo Gaming, they're forcing a fight. That's going to be Zero flashing away, at least dashing away. Protobelt as well. My mid lane, Featherstorm gonna get denied. Luna still barely is alive. One unit will be picking up the kill. Zian now accessing the front line. Zero's gonna be Hextech ultimatum in. 2 kills picked up by Weibo Gaming. And the Dragon securement is just gonna be undenied by Weibo Gaming. KT.RY being choked out every single part of the map. And it's again soul point pressure this time for Weibo Gaming.
Absolutely. And Duan Yu getting free reign of that back line. He was the only one who was dealing damage there to that enemy Zaya. And Luna gets destroyed after just 1 shock blast. Duan Yu gets the engagement, and look at just how free Duan Yu is this entire time. Nobody was getting close to him, which is why KT Roaster not even able to put up a fight in that scenario. Drake getting secured as well for Weibo, as now again they're starting to take control of this mid game. Is it going to continue on, or is KT Roaster finally going to find an answer to this onslaught that Weibo is finally setting up for themselves?
I mean, if they're gonna be looking for some avenue that that will help them get back into this game, it's gonna be much more difficult this time around, because 2 things: Power Spikes and also the Dragon Stack. But Duan Yu getting caught out, it's just a great start by KT.RY. Great use of the cast as well. And KT, the only sad thing about this is that Baron is not available yet.
Yeah, that's true. So it's gonna be hard to find another objective there. Okay, they get the body slam engage onto Fan, but they don't continuing on. Instead, KT look to push on this tower, but Weibo they're engaged. They're looking to find a response. They can look for a team fight here, but they're not going to do so. So there you go, KT Rolster. The answers that we're looking for, they finally find it, and this time they keep the lead in gold.
Weibo Gaming, again, still the one leading in terms of the gold here. Is actually pretty sizable. 2,000 plus 2 dragon stacks, plus they have 3 scaling champions. Pretty much alarming here by KT.RY, but we cannot discount them just yet because they have incredible burst, especially with the Mega Inferno Bomb. If they can lock someone down on Weibo Gaming, maybe that can pave a way for them to actually win, especially if the target's gonna be Fan. I think that's going to be just top notch. Because it's gonna be easier to chase down Duan when there's no one interrupting anymore, especially with the crowd control of the Aatrox.
Absolutely. Baron spawns up, and Zero's first to the scene. They're also trying to bait Weibo into this pit. The Rocket Belt used up. Zero actually just trying to find a little bit of tension towards Weibo, trying to draw a little bit of attention towards that area. And Rattel.
Are they gonna turn?
Oh.
Counter Strike gonna be used. Cast for the isolation as Rattel flashes away. But Jikan, backing away, Zihan will not commit onto the Hexac Ultimatum just yet. They will just go on a reset and respecting KT.RY.
This is the most tense part of the game for now. Both teams just looking for an engage.
They finally commit. Zero's gonna be in a lot of trouble. Flashes away, still has the body set to be able to escape. But now Dog going in, season assist as well is gonna be used. But he is able to at least stasis him up to buy some time. Luna needs to reposition those. Going to be very, very scary, especially for him. Metal goes in, a little bit questionable. It's gonna be kited away here by Do1U. Weibo Game still is very, very safe, at least. Going for the reset, prepping for the Baron objective as well. KT unable to get any kills. They have used so much just to be able to land the damage.
And both sides used so much trying to find an engage there, but both teams are just disengaging after the fact. Nobody wants to give a single kill to the other side because of the fact that Baron is up, right? Once one of these teams have one player down, one of the other team, yeah, exactly. The other team has free reign essentially. So both teams just like a loaded gun at this point with the barrel pointed at each other, but nobody's just springing the trap yet. It is so tense. So this is potentially going to be one of the biggest, if not the most important fight here of the game, because it is an absolute trendsetter, and every single pick here is of massive importance. KT Roaster looking for an engagement too, but the Drake is spawning in just a second. It is an Ocean Drake, but it's still absolutely important here from both sides, considering just how even the game is.
Weibo Gaming is wanting, of course, to secure this soul for their side so that they will have greater late game scaling,
of course, as
well as damage amplification later on. But KT.RY is actually having bot side pressure and also prio. Note that the shock blast is a little bit concerning here, because Fan and especially Zihan would be liking getting close towards the backline, having access there. As now the side have turned, Cass gonna be used. Jikan actually able to deny the CC. Just absolutely glorious here for Weibo Gaming now. Key objective or key ultimate no longer available here for KT.RY, as Fan is gonna be starting this Ocean Dragon. Mid lane gonna be pushed by KT. They turn onto the backline. Zihan might actually be in trouble here. Zatel is low in HP. They turn Mega Inferno Bomb, dealing quite a bit of damage there. Steel is gonna come through for KT.RY. Denying the soul here for Weibo Gaming. Sally turn onto the backline. Zero's gonna be in a lot of trouble. It's gonna be taken down here by Zihan, but the backline of Weibo Gaming is also in trouble. Do1U gonna get choked out as KT.RY getting the kills, getting them pressured up. Zihan getting chased out. Weibo Gaming running away, but will not be allowed to run away effectively as Zihan is on the other side. And KT.RY might have just done it, denied the late game scaling, and they're now sprinting towards the Baron.
Yeah, beautiful team fighting as well for KT.RY. They did not lose the fight, and they take away the Drake as well, which meant that they are on prime position to take this Baron. They do have a ton of damage still. Remember, it's a Jax Zaya comp, but now Zihan is closing in. Faye is there as well.
They turn onto Faye. No mana for this Jace. Zihan as well, gonna be turned. Season Desist as well, gonna be on him as well. Does have the Hull Breaker proc. Goes in with a flash on the hook shot. It's a little bit concerning. Took a lot of damage, but when you shot blasted also the ult from the Zeri, just gonna be able to pick up that kill. And now Weibo Gaming is gonna be in charge. They can actually pressure for the Baron.
Absolutely. Do1U being up and alive here as well, and they do have a ton of damage already as well. They can take this Baron with a lot of speed. So Jekian could potentially look for engagement as Fan sets up the vision here. knowing KT Roaster is just around the area, so they can look for a fight instead. Weibo Gaming, are they going to set up for the Baron? It seems like they will, as KT Roaster now the ones pressured. It is the turn of tables here as the Baron getting started by Weibo.
I mean, they can, so they will. Weibo Gaming forcing KT.RY to keep them in check. Turn bomb gonna be used. The Baron still getting taken here by Weibo Gaming. Let's they can do something about it. And now they turn onto KT.RY. Meter Engine actually doing a lot of damage here onto Weibo Gaming. Here's Entrance gonna be used as well. GA gonna be top. So Does just gonna be walking away, and Weibo Gaming is happy with that walkout.
Yeah, take away the Baron, and they deny the fight. No steal this time, as Weibo keep the Baron buff for themselves. But KT Roaster, remember, they're the ones that are a little bit ahead in terms of gold, so they can look for a fight here. The name of the game now for Weibo is spread their control, spread their Baron buff to as many lanes, many lanes as they can, and fly away to these lanes. And
fly,
potentially
Pigeon fly.
potentially deny these fights for now, because KT Roaster, look, despite the fact that the Baron buff is in the hands of Weibo, they still have a 4,000 gold lead because they're still ahead in terms of items, and Weibo have to respect that.
I mean, Weibo Gaming is actually doing a really good job respecting KT.RY. In every single instance, they're not really forcing fights, they're not overcommitting in any fight. They give objective if they have to give it away.
Yeah.
But I think this last objective is not something you can give away.
Yeah, absolutely. Weibo Gaming around the area into the Elder Drake. Both solo laners in the Baron lane for now, but they do have teleports available.
Top side being pushed.
Consider that fight here on the bottom side. Look at how deep the minion lines here for the side of Weibo because of their Baron buff. So deep in, and KT Roaster have no choice but to back on out. So Weibo have one more man here inside the Elder Drake. But
3 versus 3, it's actually more advantageous here for Weibo Gaming.
True, but they're not gonna be pressing on any further for now. Instead, just gonna play time a little bit more. But they're gonna reset as well. KT Roaster, this gives them free reign to establish a little bit of vision towards Elder Drake. But realistically, KT Roaster cannot start this Elder Drake. I don't think they have the position nor the damage yet. They can't take this far. They can't take this Drake fast enough. So Weibo still has a little bit more control here as they go for the reset onto the Elder.
It's a great positioning here from Weibo Gaming. Elder Dragon still well intact. Jiken as well is able to heal himself back to full health, especially with his Warmark's armor. KT keeping them in check. The Jax is in the bottom lane. Rattel pushing against Zihan. Top side is equal, is holding there. So KT.RY doesn't have any pressure in terms of macro despite the Baron power play of Weibo Gaming. Now it expires. Now it's only the Elder Dragon that can shift the tides here for either side. Both of them really checking each other out. Vision getting denied, Vision getting restored again. KT.RY, they need to be very careful, especially with the crown here of Acrobat. It cannot be taken down, or else it's gonna be more vulnerable.
Yeah, you think about it, it's really unfortunate that Weibo got the Baron as the Elder spawns, but here comes the World Thunder.
Jihan trying to land the double taunt. Pan as well, gonna be dealing with damage. Zihan flanking from behind. Gas gonna be dodged with Hexagon to meet him here onto Luna. Season is gonna be spied out to try and get that CC done here onto Weibo Gaming. Great flank from Rattel as well onto the backline, but the backline has been breached already from KT.RY side. Weibo Gaming interrupted then and had a great damage being thrown out. Dar getting denied, and Weibo Gaming getting a clean victory unless Rattel is gonna be able to get that counterplay. Unable to do so as Faye gets a rage form, and KT.RY ace. Weibo Gaming spreading mid lane.
A very scattered fight on both sides, but Weibo, they keep Duanyu alive and they deal the damage more than enough here to clean up KT Roaster, and that is going to be the game. It is the series as well. 2-0 Weibo take down KT Roaster.
Such a great team fighting positioning by Weibo Gaming. Jiken engages, getting 2-man taunt, Fan just landing pressure, and then Zihan on a flank, getting even a dodge on the assault and battery by Do just to be able to, lock someone